mà chất năng bằng sông cruông chiên bạch nhạc lên thiên sa ma kỳ cùng lần nia sông cruông bom ra ca bia Campuchia mai từng rực nia tiêm tia sập sợi dây ai kêu riêng bồn áp tiêm áp thấp bát tay mai bao say bắt đầu bắt đánh thay rẽ xa mình oi bỏ từng chim pin một đua ta song bạc đồn ta thâm thiên triệt Khmer rèn áp tinh rèn bom lư Campuchia Khmer ai thêm kia đông dài pa nhà nhớ bài sẽ đánh song cũng ăn không xa sẽ quạt lại ra chi việc phim rùng rương đầy dương tu dương khô khô dương Khmer trọc lan song cua chiên khai ra Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ nhạc mấy miền xa mà kỳ cùng lần nia sông cruông bom ra ca bia Campuchia mai từng rực nia tiêm tia sập sợi dây ai kêu riêng bồn áp tiêm áp thấp bát tay mai bao say bắt đầu bắt đánh thay rẽ xa mình oi bỏ từng chim pin một đua ta song bạc đồn ta thâm thiên triệt Khmer rèn áp tinh rèn bom lư Campuchia Khmer ai thêm kia đông dài pa nhà nhớ bài sẽ đánh song cũng ăn không xa sẽ quạt lại ra chi việc phim rùng rương đầy dương tu dương khô khô dương Khmer trọc lan song cruông chiên khai ra bao nhiêu đôi trong đầu âm na chun ra chia đang bay Campuchia rung rung sen san
Good evening and welcome to Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. Thank you for joining our show. This program is under CNRP-America. My name is Linda Ou and I am live right now from the beautiful state of California, Los Angeles, California. As always, this show is in English and the reason is I want our Khmer youth overseas to understand what's going on in Cambodia so they can be able to make decisions or know what's going on in the country where their parent or grandparent came from. So as always, thank you for joining our show. Let me see. Our topic for today is last minute deal, patterns and defectors. So please join us. Please share our show if you enjoy our show. I hope you enjoy our show. So please make sure to share our show as well. This show is on every Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. I haven't been on regularly due to busy schedule due to work, but as always, I always want to bring topics and information so that way you would able to be up to date on what's going on in Cambodia. And today is very special. We have two wonderful guests. Let me introduce them. They are so kind to always come in the last minute and always volunteer their time for this show, and I am grateful that they're here. Let me introduce one of my youth. Her name is Brittany Bakers. She is a teacher. She teach English. She helped the Cambodian community in Ohio. So let me bring her out and have her and talk to her a little bit. Okay. Jimmy Sue, Brittany.
Bong.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. How's Ohio?
Ohio is finally warmer.
Great.
Yeah, finally.
What have you been up to? The last time was like maybe 3 weeks ago that we talked to you. Anything new? Anything exciting with Brittany?
I don't think so. The usual work and doing a lot of community things. And I mentioned to you starting a citizenship class. So I help a lot of immigrants in Ohio become citizens if that's one of their goals. So staying busy with that. So I appreciate the opportunity to come tonight and to talk and discuss and share some ideas.
Thank you, Brittany. How many time per week do you help with the citizenship class?
Right now, we offer, depending on the schedule of the students, but we have one offering that's twice a week. And then if students prefer to get all of their studies in on one day for a longer day, we offer that too. So we cater to parents and people that have very busy lives.
And how long does it take to do that in case someone asks me and I would know about it?
Yeah, good question. So the processing through immigration is about a year. It sort of depends on where someone is starting with their English capacity because there's a reading and writing and speaking component for the U.S. citizenship test. So some people can study for a short time and they're prepared for the test, and then other people need a little bit longer time. So it depends on the person, but the immigration process is about a year.
So our audience, if you need help with your immigrations, wanting to become a U.S. citizen, Brittany is here. See, watching our show is very benefit. Not in addition to learning English, she can help you with your citizenship. Thank you, Brittany, and as always, thank you for being here. Let me introduce my second guest. His name is Samady. Samady, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. How you how you doing? You haven't been on for a couple months now, so I heard you are slaving away now. How's the I guess workforce treating you?
It was good. Working for the government has many benefit, but the not good part is, my dad' political career might be over before he be able to get a free and fair elections in Cambodia. As you know, previously around Cambodia, there's Thailand and Myanmar, and there's many events happening. So the regime wants to follow the same step and learn from his neighboring country.
We'll update that in a minute. So everything's good with your new job?
Yes, Bong, everything is good.
Is it overrated working?
No, I only work Monday through Thursday.
Oh, that's even better. Wow. I should go work with you.
Yes, from 6 to 3:30. So
Okay. Let me bring Brittany out. Isn't that a great schedule, Brittany?
Yeah, Monday through Thursday. Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-day weekend. Wow, that's amazing. Then that's not overrated at all. My job and probably Brittany's job is overrated. Okay, since somebody brought up about political situation in Cambodia, we're going to be talking about political situation. We can talk about we're going to start with CLP, stand for Candlelight Party. I want us to watch a short video, a 2-minute videos. This video was filmed 11 months ago, so almost a year ago. I watched that uh, earlier, and I feel that it's talking about current situations, even though 11 months ago. So let me share that, and then before we go on regarding CLP.
Are elections at national members of the National Assembly who represent different districts, different areas, parts of the country. It happens members are from different political parties typically, and it never been a very competitive affair because at the rural level in Cambodia, the ruling party controls a lot of what goes on, and so it's never much of a surprise when almost 90+% of the votes collected are actually for the ruling party. Well, there's been a bit of definitely some intimidation against the Candlelight Party, which I guess is the closest thing to what had been the Cambodian National Rescue Party, the main opposition party after it was banned. So that this is a remnant of that hasn't been banned yet, I guess. But it's an indication, I think, of how concerned the authorities, certainly the ruling party, is the brand of the Candlelight Party as a possible heir and vote getter in this coming election. But there's never been anywhere near the stakes, the commune level that there have always been at the national level, where the ruling party was at one point of losing, and therefore reacted in a way where it banned the opposition completely. When you are dealing with a political system that does not allow the main opposition to operate, that's never a good image. Are you afraid that your opponent might actually win? Managed democracy might be the idea here, but it's really looking increasingly like managed dictatorship if one isn't careful enough.
So how is this working that? It was what 11 months ago. Is it still resonate today, Brittany, from watching that?
Yeah, it's interesting to see that from 11 months ago to see the energy and the organization that was surrounding the Candlelight Party, and then just slowly as we saw the erosion of rights, and most recently with the National Election Committee's decision to not allow the Candlelight Party to participate, it really just shows, like, in a very short span, what can happen when democracy is eroded. And I like his term about the managed democracy versus the managed dictatorship. I think it's what we saw last year with the local elections. I was there at that time and saw some of those sneaky things that were happening, and what we saw 5 years ago with the national election at that time. So it's like history is repeating itself every election time.
For our audience that doesn't, maybe is not in tune to the Cambodia politics, on May 15, which is yesterday, on Monday, NEC, stand for National Election Committee, has decided to bar one of the main opposition party. But when we're talking about the main opposition party right now, we're talking about CLP. So they are barred from July 23rd elections, which is a little bit over 2 months. The reason was CLP failing to attach a notarized copy of the party registrations documentations with its applications. So their decision is to bar from them for going register. So as of now, on July 23rd, there is no Candlelight Party on the ballot, but I think the Candlelight Party have 5 days to put in their I think to a different department, regarding that. So in 5 days we would know, but it seemed that um, the regime, like Brittany said, it's repeating, and this time very scared as well. This time, Hun Manat, who is the son of Hun Sen, is having his name as a parliament in Phnom Penh. So Hun Sen is really scared. It's instead of having the people go to elections and having them vote, he did not taking that chance. He want to make sure that his son is continue his on his footstep. What's your take on that, Samady?
Well, I kind of see it coming because Myanmar, the country that is next to Cambodia and has history of great relationship with the regime, which is Hun Sen, kind of did the same thing with Aung San Suu Kyi, I think NLP political party, or NLD, National League for Democracy. Just 3 weeks ago, Aung San Suu Kyi party has been disqualified for the upcoming election due to failure to comply with the new registration law imposed by the Myanmar military, currently owned by the regime, just like the Hun Sen regime. And yes, and it's kind of similar thing happened to Candlelight Party. They failed to register by the registration date. As a result, they are disqualified from entering the national elections, the upcoming national elections, even though they stated that we have 1 week to appeal to the NEC or the Supreme Court in this case. But I don't think there's any chances because Hun Sen hold all the power in regarding those areas. So that's my opinion on it.
It's not an opinion, it's the truth, Samady. Hun Sen is holding control over the court, holding control over the military, and he is beyond paranoia. I guess that what's the correct term, making sure that his party, making sure his son is holding the number one position in like number one position. So if one, it cannot be loose. So even that is still paranoia that people might not vote for his son, not enough vote for his son in Phnom Penh. So the paranoia is up there, and as a result, the Candlelight Party have been banned from as of now, as of yesterday, been banned from registering. Not it's not their name is not going to be on the ballot. So that's the latest news. Anything else you want to add, Brittany, before I move on to our topic?
I maybe it'll come up later, but I mean, I think as we've talked about before here, this is typical tactics to discourage democracy. And it's interesting too because NEC is, my understanding, they're still taking applications for election observers and putting a lot of emphasis on their work to collect applicants, diverse applicants for these election observer positions. But I think we've known for many years that NEC is no longer a partial or impartial group that would be able to carry out free and fair elections and have observers that are interested in carrying out free and fair elections too. When they're discouraging political parties from registering for to participate in democracy, I think it says a lot. And in fact, NEC came out and said we're not concerned about the fewer political parties registering for participation. I think that speaks volumes in terms of their priorities and how they see democracy and free and fair elections in Cambodia.
Even though Candlelight Party, even though they're on the ballot, there is no chance that we all think that they're going to unseat CPP in these elections. why so scared? Why so? I guess I can keep saying that he's paranoia, um,
Mhm.
and also eliminate any chance of making sure that his son is sitting on that position. So during this election, nobody would think that, oh, CLP will unseat CPP. It's not possible because it's 125 seat, and CLP, I believe, is gonna, if they're gonna be on the ballot, is probably the most, probably 22 seat if I'm correctly counting it. So that's not possible. But at the same time, because he doesn't want any the democracy in Cambodia, any possibility of, um, I guess we can say in short, is the possibility of knowing that people are favoring other political party where his party is slowly dying. So,
Mhm.
anything you would like to add, somebody, to get off your chest?
Um, I think Brittany said a lot already, and you. But I feel like also in Asia, in Southeast Asia, the election happened around the same time, just a few weeks earlier, and it's just too many current event happened around Hun Sen. And as you can see, a couple days ago, Thailand, who also have a military ruler, has been at the bottom of the table. There's five main political party, and Pheu Thai is the second largest. While everyone thought they're gonna take the number one vote, the most popular vote, but at the same time, there's another youth movement party called Move Forward Movement, which won the most vote in Thailand and kick the military supported political party all the way to the bottom of the table, and no one expected that. And Hong San see that as a threat, as you say, paranoia. So he wanted to eliminate all the possibility of democracy in Cambodia. This will allow him to peacefully transfer power to his son, Hun Manite, for
Um,
operational
Let me
affairs.
ask Brittany because she's in foreign affair. Um,
Mhm.
um, what is the repercussion for Hun Sen for doing this? What is the West probably be doing? What did the EU probably be doing? What would you like them basically to be doing? The
Yeah,
United States and also the EU, what would you want them to do?
yeah,
Instead of issuing statements saying, "Now we condemn this, condemn that," what action do you think that not you think you want them to take?
yeah. Actions in terms of diplomacy, such as like placing sanctions on Cambodia, which doesn't impact the everyday Cambodian, but would definitely impact CPP members, including Hun Sen, of course, and those that are closest to him. Make it very difficult for them to travel to the United States, to have business in the United States, for their kids to study in the United States, to even have tourist visas in the United States. So there are some diplomatic routes that can and most likely will be taken as a result of not allowing a free and fair election to unfold.
But with the EU, they already withdraw 20%, and they already said it, I think, a couple months ago, that if the Cambodia does not have free and fair elections, there are going to be more sanctions. So 100%, maybe 80 to 100% withdraw, and even though that will hurt the garment worker, hurt the people the most, but it's something that it got to be done, so the people will stand up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All that matters. Cambodian hosts the grandest sea game in Southeast Asia.
Right. And a million hearts at Angkor Wat.
What small country, big heart? Um, Maybe they should use that term, small country, big heart, and open up their heart for all the opposition party to participate in the elections. That should have been, small country, but big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let's go into our topic today. Our topic, last minute deals. There's a lot of deals going on. I mean, a lot of stuff's going on for the last, I say, 3 weeks. Deals on patents and defector. What I meant is like people are asking, basically people that are on the opposition, that people that consider themselves opposition, that consider themselves voicing their voice against the regime, asking for forgiveness and also not just that, asking to be working, for them to be working with CPP to help and uplift the country. And we have been seeing this AV elections. And I don't know how many more gonna be. It seems like AV elections, people are burning their current party shirts, going to CPP. But I don't see any one that actually gain a position that actually lasted more than 2 or 3 months. um, so, Brittany, what does it take for CPP to buy you?
There's no price.
Let's start with that.
Yeah, there's no price for me, but I will say, like, I have, the safety and protection of being in the United States, and I have, so it's not exactly the same as someone who's spending their time in a Cambodian prison, who has to make a hard decision for the survival of themselves and perhaps their families. So with that said, there would be no price for me to defect. So no worries with that.
About somebody, what's the price? What's the price tag?
I mean, the price, anyone can just join CPP. I mean, even the guy claimed himself as Sonaro. He said he's one of the top supporter of CNRP, but he hasn't been assigned any role within CNRP, but he got a very high position with CPP when he declared to join them. But once you join the regime, you cannot go back. We see a few examples, like Mr. Kongkorn. He declared that he was not going to involve with any political party, but he doesn't want to be involved with Hun Sen either during the election. As a result, he lost more than he gained. He lost his land, his home in the capital, Phnom Penh. And as of now, he just stay quiet due to the pressures from Hun Sen. So once you join, there's no going back. Your political career will be over. And I am a United States citizen. There's no point of me joining a political party. And also, I work for the government, so I cannot affiliate myself with any foreign entity. So that is my take on it.
Thanks, Samady. Thank goodness you guys are very royal to me. Brittany, I know you're talking about there's no price tag, and you're talking about the people in Cambodia have a different issue. There have been not just regular people. I mean, not just opposition. That's also political prisoner that came out and no longer want to be in as opposition. Also joined CPP. Also CLP also went to CPP. Former CNRP political activist, political commentator. Switch sides, went to CPP. Many of those people, they are living in Cambodia. What is your sentiment on that? With that, do you think that it's the best decision, or something that they have to do living under the repression?
Yeah, great question, and good point about living under repression. I mean, I can't imagine what that would be like. Long-term effects of that pressure, the threat, the very real violence that you and your family might have experienced, time in a prison, and also just small day-to-day interferences as a political a member of the political opposition party, or just someone who is outspoken against the government, like an influencer on social media. There's been some recent defections with those folks too. So I can't pretend to know what that's like to live under that constant fear, and also just the constant a lot of those people, per my experience and understanding, have a harder time to get a job because they're marked as opposition. So things that we might think are easy in terms of life things, like getting a job, keeping a job, getting land for a house, are much harder if you're a member of the opposition party. So I can't imagine what that's like, and I'm not going to, fault people who are just trying to like survive in life. So I think it's a really hard decision to make. I don't agree with it, but again, I don't have to live in really difficult conditions where that oppression is very real and in my face. I hope that deep down the people that are defecting will vote a different way, right? Like I hope that when they go in to vote, they're maybe still remembering the reasons why they were a member of the opposition party or an environmental activist, or their principles that are originally aligned with some other of the political parties versus CPP.
Thank you, Brittany. Samady, you brought up a name earlier. The reason I'm not showing picture and the reason I'm not mentioning name, because I don't want to give them the platform, even though our audience is in English, and I don't want to give the person a platform to even talk about their name or their picture. But for people, you said you are U.S. citizen, and for people that are U.S. citizen or citizen of other people or other country that came over, how do you feel? How do you feel that they went and support CPP? Shame on them.
So basically, as you said, that one person that just recently joined, he said he lived a very great life in the U.S. He doesn't lack anything, but opportunity present itself. As a result, he decided to go back to Cambodia and prepare his family here and go back and serve the government. I feel like, well, even though he said he doesn't see any benefit joining CPP, he's just in it for power in this case. And he just keep attacking the opposition party. In this case, Mr. Samrancy and the CLP. As you know, I think yesterday, CPP spokesperson Sok Asan's the news asking.
The parent.
Yes, they said that what is your opinion regarding NEC, National Election Committee, not letting the main opposition party enter the election? He said, "Are you blind? Can't you see other 10 opposition party that just registered for the upcoming elections?" This is kind of funny because those 10 party is just popping out of nowhere. Just yesterday, I never see their name. It's just coming up after the main opposition party, CLP, has been rejected from entering the national elections. So I think it's just a facade. I think Hun Sen he kind of want to show the democracy images, but at the same time, he doesn't want to feel the pressures from the international community. Even though he said the 20% cut of EBA is nothing to Cambodia, but as of now, the Cambodian economy has been take a huge hit due to Sea Game and like free tickets going into to watch the sport, free advertising rights on TV. Cambodia is rich, small country, but very rich. I don't, after this we probably be in debt. I don't know when our country able to pay off the debt to the Chinese government, but uh, in CPP supporter I am. This is a great move because, as you can see, the election coming up, every government sectors required their worker to wear the CPP logo on their shirt. This is unheard of. No one forced me to wear a Republican or Democratic logo to work to just support my view on it. So I kind of thought this is funny that people start wearing the baby blue and Devada shirt.
I just want to bring up when you're talking about money, when you're talking about Sea Game, about free money. If Cambodia is what it called, I think a couple years ago, is was it tiger economy or lion economy. If we are such a booming in economy, we are such a great country, a great job. 2 million migrant worker crossing the border. And talking about migrant worker, we not even touch base on the arrest of our migrant worker that crossing the border, that being punished by the Thai police. That recently it's very feel really bad. And also, if we are such a big heart and small country, big heart, you just need to look at the lake, you just need to look at the forest. Why is it keep shrinking? Why every locations, you have people that displaced from their land and they protesting, and everywhere you go the forest is keep shrinking. And also the lake is sand keep filling out lake. If it the economy is so booming, why are we losing natural resources? We shouldn't be losing all those. But thank you, Samuel, for that word booming. I couldn't even get out. That was it's so good. Why are we losing our natural resources? And I believe that many people, many opposition, and many people that not even declare themselves as an opposition, truly hate and truly understand what is land grab, what is deforestations, and what is there's no longer a lake, there's no longer a pond in Cambodia. And it's keep going. If it our economy is so great, why we have 2 million migrant workers crossing the border to work in a job where Thai people don't even care to work, so low income job, which is so much better, still so much better, making much more money than in Cambodia. Sorry, off topic.
It's okay. It's important to remember about that, and also about the rights of all of the migrant workers. Right, they don't have the ability to participate in the national election. They had to leave Cambodia because there weren't secure job opportunities that paid a livable wage to support their family. So they're forced to leave Cambodia. That's why you see massive diaspora populations in Southeast Asia and East Asia and further.
It's kind of funny because I watched the speech of each Thai political party, Pheu Thai and Move Forward movement, that gained the most popular vote. Their political campaign is based on decentralize the power from military and give it back to the people. In this case, democracy. They talking about how they can improve the Thai economy, give people more jobs, make Thailand become the richest country in Southeast Asia. While in Cambodia, I see CPP political party campaign is, if you vote for Cambodian People Party, we promise peace. Who talk about peace in this century now? There's no war going on. So just to show you how dated the regime is. Every time the election coming up, they always brought up the 1979, the war that, yes, the thank you peace. So Cambodia is still stuck with war era, and I don't think Cambodia will be able to move forward if every time the election coming up, all they talked about is war and thank you peace. In this century, in this era where each country focus on improving economic and trying to make the country a better place.
Yes, same as America. When there's elections coming up, or you're talking about economy, creating more job, um, and I'm not sure in Cambodia CPP even here create more job. All I heard is, you know, donations to the poor, donations for this, donation to that. Also promoting road, promoting building with 3 room. So unforgettable, unbelievable. Now let me ask you. I know election is in like a little bit over 2 months, and we're gonna see more people going to CPP. For someone that we know where we stand, and those are like a theater, a putting on a show, where people you can see all these people going to CPP look like it's very like everybody is joining, but unfortunately it's just a small amount. It very tiny amount. What is the word of encouragement for someone who, like for a youth who just sit there and watch, like wow, might not sure where they at? Brittany, you are really good with that.
Yeah, good question. I think it's important to remember while we see these headlines every day about 6 more defected and so.
5-6 times per day.
Yeah, several times per day. You're right. About all the recent defections and public apologies, and people like
begging,
yeah,
begging for forgiveness.
Yeah, and asking for release from prison and all these elaborate asks. I think it's important to remember, as you said, that's just a small amount. The opposition, whether it's with the Candlelight Party or other opposition parties, is still there. It's still strong and robust. I think it's a little bit fragile now with the recent decision by the NEC, but hopefully that can be contested. Hopefully they can pursue all avenues to look into options for that. And I think it can be a little discouraging when, if you're looking up to an environmental activist, for example, or a political prisoner who had very strong opinions for many years, and you see them defect or thinking about defecting or something. I think it can be discouraging for sure, which would be a normal feeling. But I hope we can find whatever reason it is and reconnect with that, the reason why we stay steadfast in these issues, and remember that these are all tactics of a regime and managed dictatorship, as we learned about earlier.
Any opinion on that, Samady? Any support, anything that encourage the youth? That just a show, like for the last 5 years, that you don't see people defect into CPP, but now you see multiple headline begging. I guess that's the word, begging for forgiveness.
Well, I think in 2016 or 17, Mr. Saransi, he came to Long Beach. We organized like a huge event. Sorry, and he said the best diploma to hold in your hand is Saransi diploma. After you join the opposition party, in this case CNRP, and gain some kind of popular distribution, either from the live shows or from some kind of position, in this case the president of one chapter in the states, let's say in this case of Massachusetts or different state, and then you defect to the Cambodian People Party, you will automatically gain a very big position within the party. And honestly, I kind of want to see more people defected to CPP, because this show how unfair it is for people who actually support CPP their whole life, work their butt off to achieve something great, but the next day you see someone who talk bad about the government every day, using foul languages against Hun Sen, but all they say is one apology phrase, thank you, peace. I would like to live under Samdach umbrella, peace in Cambodia, and you gain a position. That's just to show how unfair it is for people who genuinely support CPP. And in the future, this is not a long-term solution. If he keep on buying people like this, after Hun Sen can no longer step in the political games and pass this position to his son, there might be a internal conflicts within CPP, and the opposition party can reap the benefit from this internal conflicts. I feel like it can be 5 years or it can be 10 years. Nothing will last forever. That's my opinion.
The people that defect into um, thank you, Lukpu. He said it's called Samrangsi University. What I noticed that people that defect into CPP never hold a real position, not a really positions. Like the people that within their little circle, the crony, they will stay where they are. But the people that they would basically, it's a show. It's Hun Sen used them as a show during elections, but for any of them to come even closer to, I mean, none of the defector even stand even not even close to Honmanite. Just think of that. Like you will never get a real position that even close to his kid or his crony. So that's something to think about. But at the same time, it's all a show. It's all a show before elections. If you are you looking in, I know, like Brittany said, it's very um, upsetting
Discouraging.
to
Yeah.
see. Yeah, upsetting to see like Mother Nature or environmental activists or political prisoner that you feel like they would never sell out, but at the same time you don't know what their situation. You don't know how many threats they got toward them. Even toward them, they're willing to be in prison, but also toward their family, toward the immediate family. So we don't know what they've been through. And at the same time, shame on the people that in outside America, overseas, that willingly go back for forgiveness and they left a country that no longer served them, but they went back and served the regime when they have, they know what democracy, they know what the respect for human rights, but went back instead of serving the people, serving the regime.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, we are almost at the end of our show. I want to start with Brittany. I want since this last week and yesterday is very tough because of CLP not allowed to be on elections. So, what is the word of encouragement? I know for me, democracy is not something easy. You need to keep going. You need to keep move forward. Um, if you look at Hun Sen, it's been 40 years, so it's not easy.
Mhm.
So for me, my message keep going. What's your message, Brittany?
Mhm. Yeah, I think also keep going. That's important too, to remind people that it's not a short race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And all of us, we have something to contribute. We have something to give. My gift is different from your gift, is different from the next person's gift or their passion, what their knowledge is that they're bringing. So everyone has something to contribute. The people that are sharing news articles are contributing something. The people that are writing those news articles, the people that are sending money to help to help young people become activists and become politicians. Those people are important just as much as the people that are running for the offices and the people who have the formal education, right? Who go to college to study to be leaders and politicians and things like that. Everyone has something to give, something to contribute. If it's not money, it's time, it's resources in some form or another. So I think it can be kind of overwhelming to look at something like this or a social issue that is causing a hardship in Cambodia or wherever it is in the world. It can be very distressing to figure out how to get involved. But I think it's important to realize that we all have something to contribute. No matter how big or small, there's still an impact.
Thank you, Brittany. How about you, Samady? What is the encouraging message to the youth when I know this, like I said, last week and yesterday was just a blow to our the momentum?
I feel like as a opposition party, we have the upper hand. Even by gaining one seat, we are winning. While for Hun Sen, losing one seat is like losing an election, because it shows that people doesn't support wholeheartedly support CPP after the repressions and the threat and all the political trick that he been using since 1979. In this case, the youth can still have a long way to go. We cannot see the future. I don't know what happened next year or 5 more years. It can be 10 more years. Like Prayut Chan-o-cha in 2014 to 2022, he held the power in Thailand. But look at him now. 2023 elections coming up. He is on the bottom of the table. No one supported him. The same thing might happen to Hun Sen. We cannot see what happened in 5 more years. Yes, right now he can dissolve the party or he can threatening people not to support the main opposition party, but he cannot last forever. The dynasty will come to an end. The longest dynasty is in China. It's from 1,300 to 1,500. It's been 200 years, still come to an end. China till this day, they no longer have the king, the emperor, just a state. So Cambodia will soon turn the same path. Hun Sen and the Hun family cannot control Cambodia forever. So that's my thought on it. It's just to be persistent, keep fighting. Know in your heart if you cannot openly support the main opposition party, just know when the right moment comes, it is time for us to stand up.
Thank you, Samady, and thank you, Brittany. It's a really great message. I know we are almost at the end of time, and I appreciate you, both of you, being here today. It's a really great message, and like I said, we are very uplifting. We are very regarding CLP, even though all of us are supporter of CNRP, but we are hopeful. We were very hopeful regarding CLP going into elections, but now it's a something that the regime crushed under their feet. But we will keep going, and like Hun Sen did dissolve CNRP, and it still have people have momentum for candlelight. So the momentum will keep going, and I truly believe that like somebody said, the end is near, and hopefully it's soon. Well, thank you so much, Samady and Brittany, for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Have fun working, Samady. And have fun teaching, Brittany.
Thanks. See you next time.
See you next
thank
time.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, our audience, for being here. We are at the end of our show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your comment and Thank you so much. Like I said, it was very tough. Last week was tough. Yesterday was tough, but I was able to bring both of Samady and Brittany's here, so that way you can hear our voice and you can see that we are still moving forward. We still have hope, and that's the message: is hope. As long as we have hope, the regime will die, and from my guess, soon the better. So thank you, and hope you have a good evening wherever you at, or good morning wherever you at, and I will see you next week. Hope you have a great week. Thank you so much, and see you next week.